Hi guys, it's Stephen Edwards from Cheltenham Tax Accountants. So because it's the start of the new year, everybody's starting back at work. Hopefully you've had a bit of time off, you haven't worked in that sort of week in between. I thankfully I didn't, although as a business owner, I'm sure you can relate to this, it's quite hard to switch off even if you're at home, but particularly if you've not got a job where you need to be out and about, like a sort of physical job. So if you're a builder, um, well, to be fair, even if you're a builder or you're a tradesman and you're running a business, you've still got a million things on your mind. It's probably even more so the case if you work with a computer most of the time, because it's effectively your office. You're taken about everywhere. You're starting back at for the new year. You've probably got a million different emails, a million different things on your mind, a million things on your to-do list. And I don't want to spend too long talking about this, but we can all get lost in what I call the grind. And you might have heard the term being a busy fool. And that means that you're just basically just being busy. You're being busy for the sake of busy. A lot of people in the UK are like that. Western societies we like being busy. It's just in our nature. If you compare us to some of the other countries in the world, it's a far slower pace, really. And when you're a business owner, it's really important. It's really important if you want to make more of your time, create a better life for yourself, grow your business in the right way to benefit your life, yourself, and your family. To make sure you work on the things that matter in your business ultimately, because we've kind of got this pressure to respond to an email as soon as possible. And I've got clients probably watching this, and I'm not ashamed to say you shouldn't respond to emails the minute it hits your inbox. It's not productive at all. There are some exceptions. If your job is very orientated around customer service, so if you're a help desk, or if basically you live in your email anyway, that is your job, then that's fine. But if you don't, if you've got other things you need to be doing, you've got projects, you've got meetings, you've got marketing, you've got strategy things, you've got all these different things to do, and actually doing the work as well, actually being on the tools, so to speak, then just being on your email all day doesn't help. So Stephen Covey, he wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the most famous self-development books of all time and productivity books of all time. If you're into reading and you want to sort of broaden your knowledge around sort of a bit of self-awareness and how you go about your activities day to day, and also a bit of direction for your business and your life. I know that's a bit intense, but it's an amazing read, and it's probably changed most people's lives. But one of the most famous tools, and that's the thing with books and theories and all this, is sometimes there's very practical takeaways from it. And one of the most practical takeaways is the urgency versus importance time matrix that Stephen Covey came up with. And effectively, it's a way to prioritize where you spend your time. So if I was to ask you, and I have talked about this in the past, but I just wanted to cover it in the new year because I'm applying this to all of my tasks. So I've got a million different things, and I'm doing what I call a brain dump. Get it all off my mind. Don't keep it all in your mind because it's not going to help you. You're just going to go around in circles. Get it off your mind initially. Get it all on a piece of paper or electronic to-do list. And then what you need to do is you need to not just brain dump, but also think specifically about what are the big projects I want to achieve this year. What are the big things that are going to help me achieve my goals? So then you need to think about what are my goals for the year? What am I trying to achieve overall? Am I trying to hit a certain amount of turnover? Am I trying to, probably a lot of businesses trying to survive this year? Am I looking to hit a certain amount of sales, inquiries, whatever your goals are for the business personally? Make sure you don't lose sight of those, because that will link into your big projects. Whatever your goals are, you need projects to help you achieve those. And then it filters down to everything else. It could be little things like get back to this person on email, make this phone call. Get it all off in your mind, brain dump, and I recommend sorting it into big projects, write down what your goals are, and then everything else. Then what you want to do is you want to put it into these 4 baskets, these 4 categories. We've got quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. Straight away, if I said to you, to ask yourself what's the most important category to be spending your time on, what would you say? I'll give you a moment just to think about that. What would you say is the most important category? if you're like me or most humans, probably dive into number one because it's number one on the list. But actually, when you look at it, and just to explain this in a bit more detail, we've got importance on the left-hand side and we've got urgency at the top. So at the top of here, we've got high importance, and up here we've got high urgency, so we're going the other way around. So quad one, box one is it's important, it's high importance, and it's also urgent, it's high urgency. So they're things that have to be done. And really, we like to call those putting out fires. You've got no choice. Sometimes it's preventable. You've left it last minute. Other times it's not preventable. Something's come up. You have to deal with it. If you're a builder and a client's roof's been damaged and you've done the work, you're gonna have to deal with that, as soon as possible. So that's quad one. That's high importance, high urgency. But you don't want to be spending most of your time here because you're always putting out fires. You don't want to be spending your days and your weeks constantly in this zone. So if you're just constantly replying to emails, which is basically other people's priorities, and dealing with phone calls and putting out these fires, you're living in, you're being reactive, essentially. Quad two is where you want to be spending your time. That's why it's green, it's color coded. So it's basically, it's high importance, but it's not urgent. These are the things that are really important. These are basically planting your seeds for the future. These are putting your seeds in your garden to grow a tree, to grow your crops in the future. This is going to pay off in the future. Things like, you can apply it to your personal life as well. Just give you an example. Having that workout. Is it urgent you have to have a workout today? Is it important? Is it actually going to help you in the long run? Yes, it is. And with your business, these are things that link to your overall goal and your vision in your business, what you're trying to achieve. So for me, it's doing my own management account, knowing where my numbers are in the business, just give you some ideas what I've done recently. Some HR stuff, because I've been neglecting it, but actually your team are your most important resource, so I need to really do that. I've got a training course I want to book for the year that I've been putting off, but actually it could be a long-term investment for me. I need to plan further down the field our accounting work we need to do in the next few months. I don't have to do it, but it's going to help us be more organised, and figure out exactly how many tax returns we've got left to complete, because you're watching this in, as I'm recording, it's in January, and we've still got quite a few tax returns to complete. And also, the other thing I've got on my quad 2 box at the moment is a risk register, and that's a separate video. I will do that separately, actually. But essentially, it's just listing down what are your key risks to your business, what are the biggest risks to your business at the moment. I recommend doing it at least monthly, and I need to sort of bring that up to date for myself. And then also, you can look at ways to mitigate those risks. If I do this, I do that. Kind of, strategy A, B, and C, just to cover yourself and give you that peace of mind. So you want to be spending most of your time here. Quad 3 is, it's not important, but it's urgent. So they're kind of the little things, really. So that's the third box you want to be spending your time. Ideally, you want to be delegating these things. If you're the business owner, you've got people working for you, you want to be spending your time only in high importance things. So you want to ideally be delegating this. So it gives you an example there. If someone else is making an artificial deadline, saying this has to be done this week, but actually it's not a real deadline, that's an example. It's not as important as it looks, but there's this self-urgency being created. Sometimes it might be a genuine deadline and it would have to shift into probably box 1, so you always have to make sure you look at it properly. Quad 4, box 4 is, it's not important and it's not urgent, really. So these are kind of the things where, should they even be on your list in the first place? Definitely delegate it, but possibly dump it all together. Do you even need to do it? So that's it. So if you're looking at this for the first time, I really recommend you have a go. Just get a piece of paper, do 4 boxes. At the top, just before you do that, just brainstorm. So brain dump, get all the stuff off your mind, all the things you need to do. You might already have them written on a list somewhere, electronic to-do list. And then put the 4 boxes and just shift those things into those boxes. What's high importance and high urgency, what's high importance but low urgency. So these are the really important things. These are the things that are really important to you, but you don't have to do them right now. But if you leave them, it's going to create more fires in the future. and then so on. So I really recommend doing it, and it probably help give you a little bit of clarity for the new year, particularly for this month, because I'm sure you've got a lot of things on your plate. Thanks, guys.